retiling the roofs.
Yeah. So with the roofing, from my understanding, the tiles we've got are concrete tiles. They have a more longer and technical name, but I don't know what it is. Our roofs that I've worked on before, those concrete tiles are, I think they might actually be banned now, because they are extremely absorbent. So from the point where they go on to the point where they generally need to be taken on, with their lifespan of roughly 30 to 50 years, I think, and these are original. They absorb so much moisture that they end up something like 6 times the weight of when they go up.
Right.
As when they come down. And this can have massive impact on the roof structure. As far as I know, at the moment, they're fine. The small number of problems that the report flagged up, like a few broken tiles here and there, have all been remedied. But it is something that will need to be, it will get to the point where we will need to consider re-roofing the entire lot.
Yeah.
And with that, once you take them off, because it can have this structural impact, might end up having some structural repair work to be made underneath it. There's all sorts of options to what to retile it with. I suppose it also makes it slightly more complicated by the panels, the roof, the solar thermal panels. Presumably not too much. I don't know, just because you just unbolt them and take them off. But then also you'd have to recalibrate the solar afterwards, so that'd be an additional cost.
But what sort of time frame are we looking at here?
I guess it's something we need to start thinking about in 5 to 10 years at the earliest. I guess looking at them having a 50-year lifespan is about reasonable.
I've got a quote from what they said in the report, where they said the trusses are sound.
Right.
That's the wooden structure underneath that
Yeah.
supports the roof, is that right?
Yeah.
So the trusses are sound and have no major problems. They say the concrete tiles are original and resilient to weathering, and conclude it should not be necessary to re-roof the main pitched roof for a considerable amount of time if properly maintained.
Yeah.
And as you said, we did the smaller jobs that they pointed out, rebedding ridge tiles and maintenance of vents and things like that.
Yeah.
At the time of the C60 project.
I suppose something, well, with that in mind, thinking about the maintenance of it, I guess the stairwell, the block work in the stairwell might be something to consider with that soundness in mind, because in fact, I think in the report there was one leak in one of the valleys where the tiles met one of those stairwell surfaces, and I'm sure that was one of the places, because it moved away from the flashing. That was one of the leaks.
Yeah.
There weren't many. I mean, it was in remarkably good condition.
Room J in House 5, yeah. And it was fixed.
Right. I think that was the only problem, but that is an example of that.
There was a
block
similar
work
issue
moving enough in order for it to cause structural damage. So maybe that's something to consider